Okay, welcome everyone to the Fire Guys Oddcast, where we interview various people, covering their challenges and how they built up their resilience and leadership along the way. Today we have Ben, who's a former Royal Marine Commando, who's just transitioned after 6.5 years and is now a financial planner. So I wasn't a Royal Marine Commando, so I don't know what it's like to join at 18 like you did. So what was it like when you stepped off the train at Limston?
It was the biggest shock of my life. I mean, I've not done any kind of military training or a huge amount of, like, I didn't do cadets or anything like that. So that kind of quite like abrupt and very direct kind of conversation and that loud environment that created from the like the training instructors was really quite jarring at the time.
So that's when you jumped off the train at CTC, where the train pulls up to the training centre. The doors open. What happens then?
So they immediately get you in a line and they do a kind of a brief inspection of your uniform and the whatever you're carrying at the time to make sure everything looks, you've done the correct prep, that you look presentable to be allowed onto camp. And yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount you can do in preparation for that initial 5-second, 10-second shock, really.
So the first few weeks, I should imagine, are the hardest.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably from just that, for a younger person moving away from home, that was the first time I'd been away from home. So that was a real shock. And just upskilling yourself on your own personal admin and just not having a huge amount of contact with family and friends kind of magnifies that stress, really, and that lack of network you've got around you, really.
So those first few weeks, where I should imagine you were getting a few things wrong, as everyone does. There isn't many people that breeze through recruit training, I should imagine. So, you know, why didn't you just go, look at this, I'm off? What made you carry on?
I think the fact that I told everyone that I was going, I'd backed myself in a corner, and I'm grateful I did that, because it meant that there was no chance I wasn't going to not complete it or do my best. And I'd always wanted to do it. So
failure wasn't an option.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I know the attrition rate as a Royal Marine recruit is quite high, isn't it? For various reasons. You know, it's a lifestyle that some people don't like, and maybe the tests, a lot of people don't pass the tests. I mean, it's rare that people pass the tests first time, isn't it, really? Yeah. They always have problems along the way. So you said, right, well, failure's not an option, I'm going to carry on. But there must have been other times, you know, as you move through training, was there anything that you found, oh, this is all right, actually, I'm okay at this?
Yeah, something I really enjoyed and I got a lot of satisfaction was the more physical side of it, coming from doing lots of sports as a kid. I built quite a good base of fitness, and I loved doing the bottom field and all the various physical and exercises when out in the field, and that's something that I thrived on and really enjoyed.
So I should imagine most people got an idea of, you know, the kind of exercises you do in the field, you know, basic soldiering, I guess. But just explain the bottom field. What's the bottom field?
So essentially the bottom field is the final bit of preparation for getting ready for the commando test period at the end of training. So what consists of that is a 30 feet rope climb and the assault course. And within that, you carry 21 pounds in a rifle. So it's, even if you are a really quick runner, that combination of the weight can make it quite a difficult task, really, to get over all the various obstacles.
It's going to slow you down, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So, and you've got the regain as well, which is more of a test of not so much strength, but more technique as well, which is really interesting. Seeing some of the smaller lads really getting over it really efficiently.
Yeah.
It's just really being able to listen to directions and instructions.
So the physical side of it, that was okay. You were okay with that. But you were like towards the top of the group, would you say?
Yeah. I felt that was probably my
your strength.
My key strength really, and kind of helped me throughout training. And really, I think training isn't linear for anyone. There's stuff that you find really hard, or stuff you find really easy. It's that kind of upward trajectory. It's absolutely not linear. But that phys and that physical fitness was something that was kind of stayed with me throughout and really helped me.
So the physical side was okay. No real problem with that. But was there any, because you go through various exercises, was there any of the exercises you didn't do so well in?
Yeah, it was probably as approach to the more tactical side of the exercises. I think it's very easy to kind of get lost behind with training because the pace is pretty ferocious at times, and the amount you're learning. If you're not picking it up 100% every time, those kind of mistakes will compound over time.
I see.
And therefore, when it comes to a test exercise, if you haven't shown the correct qualities or skills, you won't pass that test.
So during the exercise phase, you're out in the field, and you have kit inspections. Most mornings, don't you, out in the field? Which is difficult because it's wet, dirty, and muddy, and so it's hard to keep the kit clean. So how were you with the kit inspections?
Kit inspections probably weren't my not my strength. No.
So what happened?
So firstly, I think passing a kit muster is harder than you think. Because I remember standing on a kit muster and seeing someone's rifle clean steadily turned orange as it rained, and there's nothing. They don't put you in any cover or anything, so that's always tough. But
so that's rust, is it?
That's rust. Yeah. But you'd be put on what's called the flank. And I think there was an element of camaraderie between those who had been on the flank quite frequently, and essentially just got wet, or just thrashed physically.
So when you're being thrashed, then what's that like? There's people possibly listening today that have not joined the military, or maybe thinking about joining the military, or they don't know anyone that's been in the military. So what's thrashed is that?
So it depends. I think probably you can either get like beasted physically, so being just made to run up a hill or do kind of duck walks and just loads of like strenuous physical exercises, which isn't ideal really, considering you're already going through an exercise and that just makes you more tired. But probably the worst part is probably getting wet. I just remember thinking it's quite inconvenient at the time, because it just means it just worsens your mood and increases the amount of later admin you have to do.
Yeah, of course. So you're falling behind.
Exactly. So different ways.
When you're getting beasted, you're cold, wet, hungry, tired. You're tired because you're being beasted or thrashed. Why don't you just go, I ain't doing this? What gets you through that? That's resilience in my eyes, to be able to go, no, they can throw anything at me, I'm going to crack on. So, what made you do that?
I think if you haven't passed it, there's an element of you probably deserve it. You haven't done it. So I never felt I was getting punished for no undue reason. It was absolutely fair. And the fact that some of my friends were doing it, that were also recruits, it's just part and parcel of training, of any hardship, that it's worth it. So, you don't want to do it at the time, but it's definitely worth it.
So did you get any advice or any advice that really helped you during those times of you possibly had a bad exercise? Have to do that exercise again because you didn't get to the required standard. Was there any advice that any of the training team or any other recruits said to you, or anybody really, that there's any good advice?
Looking back, I think we had my troop officer. The way that he described I failed it wasn't lack of effort or being unselfish or lack of physical effort. It's just you need to go back and redo it and just become better. And you've just got to accept it, really. It was the key reason why I didn't pass was I wasn't good enough, and it's simple as that. If I could have gone back and done it again, and gone through the same experience, I'm glad I did it, because it makes you a better person and a better end product as well. But the key thing was just practice, just go over again.
Yeah.
just redo it and then come back stronger. Just really focus on what you weren't good at.
So like it's like almost embracing the failure.
Yeah,
would you say?
yeah, exactly. And there was no rubbing salt in the wound, like you're an absolute mess, you're a failure. It was
Yeah.
it was positive criticism
Yeah.
that I took on and applied to my further exercises.
All right. Okay. Right. So we'll just have a break there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll be back in a minute.